Welcome back, all dads from Model Railroad Techniques. So this is video number 2 for the Adelaide Model Railroad Exhibition Show 2022. A bit of a apology to start with for the team, Dan Shepherd and crew at Tarlee. I, in the description, put Taree in New South Wales, so a big apologies to them, a shout out to them and their lovely work they're doing at Tarlee there. Also, I'd like to acknowledge some of the footage that I had in this video corrupted, so I had to reach out to the Model Railroad community, and young Kane from Kane's Trains came to the fore and let me use some of his footage, so I will link his YouTube channel below, Kane's Trains. So thanks, Kane. I really appreciate your help there, mate. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and click that little bell icon to be notified of upcoming content. Also, I'd like to pay acknowledgement to my Patreons out there. So every little bit counts, and also a link for that below. So enough of the waffle, let's get into it. MRT Scale Prints, helping you to add realism to your model railway. We are producing craftsman quality prints in various scales, including HO, O and N scales. We are proudly Australian owned and operated. www.modelrailroadtechniques.com. Wellingford and Bakewell Bridge in 4mm 00 gauge by the British Railway Modelers of Australia. London and Midland Scotland Railway, or LMS layer, is a medium-sized 12 by 8 foot or 3.7 metre by 2.4 metre, and it comprises of a double-track main line with a main station, Wellingford having a small goods yard and a locomotive depot. The bay platform at Wellingford feeds a branch line to the Bakewell Bridge, which is based on the Bakewell in the Peak District of England. A recent addition at Wellingford is a dairy factory adjacent to where the branch leaves from Bakewell. The layer is operated in the period from the late 1920s to the mid-1930s. The locomotive and rolling stock are a mixture of kit build and modified kit bash ready-to-run models. The station buildings at Bakewell Bridge, the 2 signal boxes at Wellingford and the large bridge are scratch built, the remaining buildings being a mix of commercial resin and kit bash plastic and card kits and other structures, construction of rolling stock from kits. The Peterborough line by Scott Fitzgerald in HO. The Peterborough line models 2 sections of the line, the light bridge at Hamley Bridge and Gumbowie. This was modelled around 1982 to 1986. The Peterborough line was the broad gauge connection between Adelaide and Sydney via Broken Hill. Transshipping to standard gauge was accomplished at Peterborough. With the convention of the Port Pirie to Dry Creek line to standard gauge in 1982, the Peterborough's line's traffic decreased until 1992 when the line was closed between Peterborough and Burra. The light river bridge still exists to this day, however Gumbowie is gone. Pacific Pines by Dan Shepherd in HO. Watch as a quirky Climax, Shay and Heisler locomotive plod their way along this line, hauling the mighty timber of the Pacific Northwest USA. Timber is big business here, and many trains hauling the forest away can be seen working hard as they earn their keep. Built with hand-laid track, it shows what is possible for a relative beginner to achieve with solid guidance from a seasoned modeller. Strathalbyyn by Graham Cox in N. This N-scale layout is a representation of the Strathalbyyn station and yards in the early 1960s. It's been built by a small informal group of N-scale modelers who live in the southern suburbs of Adelaide. Strathalbyyn was chosen as it offers interesting yard operations and through trains of the South Australian Railways. Since the last showing, the racecourse module has been added to and end-yard loops included to enable easy turnaround of trains. The layout has been modelled directly from old official SAR plans and ex-Land Department aerial photographs. There has also been a few compromises to allow for space constraints. The Osmo aspect of the proposed unified Australian Fremo modular system was chosen as the basis for construction. The Osmon permits the use of Pico track, which is for better representation of Australian broad gauge track. The Fremon is a free-form N-scale modular railway system that specifies standards for benchwork, track and control. Aluminium square tubing or Q-block has been used for the framework and legs to keep the weight of the modules light. Planes of Fame, South Australian N-Gauge Society Incorporated in N-Gauge. The layout features an airport-themed display, various aviation modes of transport with transport terminals, distribution warehouses, aircraft hangars and space museum and more. On one end we have a NASCAR raceway and at the other end we have a drive-in theatre. North American trains are featured, but in surprising moments look for guest appearances by Japanese bullet train, the British mainline passenger consist behind historic steam locomotives, German passenger trains and local Australian consists. Thangs is known for its special interest group. Look out for our military trains, huge coal trains, long intermodal container trains, auto racks laden with new vehicles and other unique consists. The centre track is direct DC and controlled by operators at the side of the layout. The front and back are digital command control or DCC, where the operators run the trains from their mobile phones. Alamosa and Western by Don Moyes in ON30. Alamosa and Western is a short narrow gauge line connecting with D and RGW at Alamosa. La Yarra is a typical small town. In the area, interchange of traffic can be seen. Scenery is based on the Badlands of New Mexico in southern USA area. Distant mountains, desert-type landscape, white adobe-style houses, and associated buildings as seen in the Western-style movies. Trains are freelance prototype, typical of small short lines. Yalara Mining runs small gravel trains from their mine off the layout to the unloading bin to transfer to the A&W trains. Alamosa and Western and Denver Rio Grande run freight passenger and stock trains. The layout is DCC controlled and most locomotives are sound equipped. Make sure you subscribe, click that little bell icon to be notified of upcoming videos. Support us on Patreon, like us on Facebook and Instagram at Model Railroad Techniques.